Hi everyone, my name is Taylor Rhodes. I am the Executive Director over at Rocky Mountain Gun Owners. Over the next couple of weeks, I want to talk to you about some really important topics that pertain to the legislation that was passed this most recent legislative cycle. We've had a bunch of member calls and emails, even gotten some text about what happened. We know that there was a bunch of gun legislation, but we don't really know what it does and what does it mean for me and my family now. Does the mandatory gun, lock up your safe? Does that mean that I have to have my gun in a safe at all times? Does the backdoor gun registration through lost and stolen firearms, what does that mean? And of course, there's a slew of other bills that were passed. Probably the most questions we're getting is on Senate Bill 256, which is the one that's been covered in the news most, and that is what killed preemption, which we'll talk about in another video. Today, we're going to talk about mandatory firearm storage requirements, is what they called it. We call it a lock up your safety or a lock up your safe. Essentially, what this bill does is says if you have juveniles in your home, anyone under 18, I believe is how the law defines it, is you have to have your gun in a safe. And it cannot, unless it is in use, which is what the bill sponsors defined as within an arm's reach. If you're at your bedside table, you're not a criminal, but if you step to your bathroom in the middle of the night, maybe you are. No, I don't want to warn you and say the government is coming and they're going to perform checks. That's not what I'm telling you right now. What I am telling you is exactly what the bill sponsors told me, and that they see this law as an aid to red flag gun confiscation. As we all know now, red flag is not a criminal prosecution. You are not criminally prosecuted. It's a civil order, and they can't press criminal charges on you. However, what the anti-gunners in Denver want to do is to be able to criminalize you because you're a gun owner. So what they're doing with this is they're going to say, okay, well, it's just not safe if you have your guns laying around. Of course, I have a gun on my table here, and there's I hate to admit how many guns are around, but if there's a juvenile in this home, in the home that I live in, I would become a criminal. So what they're looking to do is they are saying that if you get red flagged today by a disgruntled neighbor, by a disgruntled ex-spouse, co-worker, whatever it is, that they could then say that you're crazy, you have guns, and they may or may not know that you have your guns in a safe. Well, what the police are going to do is they're going to, come down, kick your door down as a red flag, order, and they're going to come in and if they see that you have guns laying around, well, now you're not only up for civil prosecution, but now you are a criminal in the eyes of the Colorado state government, which is really a shame. As we all know, guns are tools. Guns are meant to be able to save lives, and there are countless cases of folks that unfortunately didn't have enough training with their safe, or their home is being invaded on, and they can't remember the safe code, and they're unfortunately killed or broken in on, or whatever it may be. And it really creates a dangerous environment for the gun owner. It really renders the gun useless because you can't have it. And in committee, I remember many of the Democrats were claiming, oh well, if you have a trigger lock, you don't have to put it in a safe. Well, as a gun owner myself, trigger locks are a massive pain in the ass. They're impossible, other than I have one laying around here somewhere, the loops, the bike chain type, that are meant to go through the chamber. Those are a little bit easier, but you still have to mess with the key. But some of the trigger locks that you have to just turn continuously, are a little bit of a pain, and the time that it takes to open that, you could be hurt, injured, or worse. So politicians in Denver didn't take this into consideration. We did some stakeholding with them beforehand, and of course they said, "Oh, RMGO is on board with this." Well, no, we were not on board with this at all. We did talk to them. We tried to talk them out of running this bill. They knew they had the votes in the House and in the Senate, because they nearly hold a supermajority in the House, and they hold a pretty strong majority in the Senate too. However, we're pretty confident that in the next election cycles that we can hold some of these folks responsible for what they've done to our rights. We believe our campaign appendages with RMGO Super PAC and a few other groups that we manage, we believe that we can come back and we can take back our state to what it once was, and repeal some of these anti-gun laws. While I have you on the line, I will give you a brief update on one of our lawsuits that's currently pending. You may have heard that our red flag lawsuit was failed last year, and that is partially true. It was struck down by a Denver district judge. However, we have appealed that ruling based on another ruling that is very similar in the Senate, and this didn't happen in the House, but in the Senate, the legislators there were speed reading on computers, and that bill was then thrown out because it was deemed unconstitutional. In the House, they simply denied that request, so they didn't even read the bill. So we're actually pretty confident that at some point we will be able to overturn red flag, which we're super excited about. Of course, we're going to fight it on all angles until then, but we really are excited about that, and that couldn't be done without your membership. I'm going to leave you with this. If you're not already a member, please go to rmgo.org and click in the top right corner. You'll see a join button. It's $30 a year. We're about to go into our renewal period, so there's no better time to join than now. We're growing rapidly, but after looking at our membership list, I'm just going to be very frank. We could be stronger in a lot of areas around the state that frankly we need to be stronger in, that we know there's gun owners there. But unfortunately, it costs a lot of money to prospect, is what we call it, to new members, to find new grassroots activists that will be willing to do things like sign petitions, contact their lawmakers, email them. What I like to say to our members is, once you're a member, you're a member. We want your activism. We want your money to be able to reach more people so we can engage them in activism, which is really fun. So if you are already a member, we really appreciate your membership, and really we could not do this without you. So I'm very, very thankful for you. Until next time, I think the next video we'll do is we'll talk about lost and stolen firearms. That should come out next Friday. So hold me to that to make sure that it is already recorded. So I look forward to bringing that video to talk about the Senate Bill, I think it was 78, the lost and stolen firearm gun registration. So look forward to chatting with you. And if you have any questions, as always, you can always email office@rmgo.org. Look forward to talking to you.